Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to study the fifth chapter of our English course book, Mulla Nasruddin and the Nail. In your book, has been given as Nasruddin, and I have written as Nasruddin. Both are correct. Nasruddin, he was also called as Nasruddin also. Okay. So first we'll study about Mulla Nasruddin. Mulla Nasruddin was born in Hortu village in Shivri Hisar, present-day Turkey, and died in the 13th century. So he was born in Hortu village in Sivri Hisar, and presently Sivri Hisar is known as Turkey. He died in the 13th century. He is considered as a popular philosopher. He was a Sufi and a wise man, and he is remembered for his funny stories and anecdotes. What are anecdotes? Anecdotes are personal account of one's own life or some incident which happened with the person. Okay, are real stories of one's own life or one's own incident. Now let's move on to our chapter, Mulla Nasruddin and the Nail. Mulla Nasruddin is a wise man from Persian folklore. Okay, Mulla Nasruddin is considered to be a wise man from Persian folklore. Folklore are stories which have come down from generation to generation. Okay, they have those stories which we have heard from generation to generation. So Mulla Nasruddin is such character of Persian folklore. He was considered as a very wise man. Just like Birbal from ancient India, there are numerous stories about him where he uses common sense and presence of mind to overcome difficult situations. This is one of them. Just like we have heard stories of Birbal, Akbar and Birbal, there are number of stories about Mulla Nasruddin as well, where he uses his common sense and presence of mind to pass through difficult situation, and this story is one of them. Mulla Nasruddin was a local priest in a small village who lived in extreme poverty. No one knew whether he was a madman or a sage because his ways were so unconventional. So Mulla Nasruddin was basically a local priest, pujari, in a small village, and he lived in extreme poverty. He was very much poor, and nobody in that village was able to understand that whether he was a madman or a sage means sadhu. Okay, madman or a sage, because the way he used to do his works were very unconventional means unusual. Okay, his mind was so engaged in spiritual pursuit that he never took time to think about his material comfort. So all throughout his life, Mulla Nasruddin was so much engaged in spiritual pursuits. Spiritual pursuits means things which are related to spirit, soul, God, etc. Okay, so he was so engaged in spiritual pursuits that he never had the time to think about material comfort. What are material comfort? Material comfort means good house, good clothes, a proper bed to sleep in, proper food to eat. These are all the materialistic things which a man requires for a good life. Okay, but Mulla Nasruddin never thought about all of these material comfort. He was always occupied with the thoughts of spirituality. The debts accumulated and his credit quickly vanished until eventually he had no alternative but to sell his ancestral home. So what happened? His debt started increasing. Debts means the amount of money which he need to pay. Okay, his debt started increasing and his credit started vanishing. Credits means the money saved started finishing, until he had, when his entire saved money finished, so he had no other option except selling his ancestral home. Ancestral means which belongs to our forefathers. Okay, purvajo ka ghar. Okay, so he, when his entire money got finished, he had no other option selling his ancestral home. Nasruddin's neighbor was a crooked man with a large bushy mustache, and he knew all the men's financial difficulties. Okay, now Nasruddin's neighbor was a crooked man. Crooked means not a good man, or in Hindi we say not teda admi, like that. Okay, Nasruddin's neighbor was a crooked man. He had a large and bushy mustache. Means there were a lot of hairs in his mustache, and he knew about the financial difficulties faced by Nasruddin. He thought he could take advantage of the situation, and he thought that as Nasruddin is facing financial difficulties, he could take advantage of that difficulties faced by Nasruddin. I want to help you, good neighbor. I will buy the house from you, even though I don't really have any interest in it. Actually, he went to Nasruddin and said that, okay, I want to help you, good neighbor. Actually, by looking at your condition, I want to help you. I will buy your house from you, even though I don't have interest in it. He had full interest in. Actually, he had full interest in buying the house. He was just showing to Nasruddin that he is doing a favor to him. Okay. The man offered a pitiful price. Mullah Nasruddin looked delighted and drew a small piece of paper from the folds of his clothing. Okay. Now the man offered him a very pitiful price. Very pitiful price means very low price from the actual price of the house. Then Mullah, what did Mullah do? Mullah took out a piece of paper from his clothing. God bless you with long life and healthy progeny for this generous gesture. The house shall be yours as soon as we take care of this little clause in the contract. Listening to this, Mullah said that God bless you with long life and healthy progeny, healthy children. Okay, for your generosity. He said to the neighbor that may God bless you with long life and healthy children for your generosity. The house can be yours, but you need to only take care of this one clause in the contract. What is a clause? Clause means a clause is a part of our agreement. For example, if we want to rent a house somewhere, so the landlord or landlady will be giving we need to sign a contract for that, and they can give us certain clauses that you can't enter the society after 12 p.m. or certain various types of clauses can be given over there, and we must, if we are ready to agree on that, so we sign the contract. So he were here similarly Mullah was talking about a clause with the neighbor. Okay, he said that the house can be yours, only you need to take care of this clause. What clause? Asked the neighbor suspiciously. Only a very small thing. This house was built by my father. Okay, so the neighbor asked, what clause? To this, the mullah replied, only a very small thing. Actually, this house was built by my father. A fine gentleman he was, always paid in cash. To this, the neighbor replied that he was a very nice man, he was a very fine gentleman, nice gentleman, and he always used to pay for anything in cash. Actually, he was commenting or taunting, you can say, no, commenting on Mullah Nasruddin's financial condition, difficulties. And you see here on the wall of the living room, there is one nail sticking out. My father had never had the chance to finish hammering it in. He had a heart attack and died. Then he showed him in the living room that and said that, and you see here in the wall of the living room, there is one nail sticking out. There was a nail which was sticking out from the wall. Okay, it means it was not hammered properly. The mullah showed the neighbor the nail and said that my father never had the chance of hammering it in. Okay, actually he had a heart attack and he died. God rest his soul. The neighbor looked as contrite as he could. Then the neighbor replied that God rest his soul, and he tried to look very sorry. He pretended to look very sorry. I therefore request that I be allowed to keep the ownership of the nail and do whatever I want with it. Then the mullah said that therefore I request that I am ready to give you the house, I am ready to sell the house, but I only want the ownership of this nail, and I can do anything I want with that nail. The neighbor agreed but explained that he would have to consult his wife before signing. So the neighbor agreed on this contract, but he said that to mullah that I must also consult with my wife before I sign the contract. His wife raised some serious objections. Why is he going to keep a nail? What does it mean? Now, listening to the clause in the contract, his wife raised some objections, saying that, asking that why is he going to keep the nail? Why? What does it mean to keep a nail? To this, the neighbor replied, he just wants to be allowed to keep and worship his nail from time to time. Yeah, that's all. The neighbor said that he just wants to be allowed to keep his nail and worship his nail from time to time, and that is all he wants. He's crazy, maybe so. Yeah, but we are getting the house for half its value. So what's problem if we want to keep a small nail? To this, his wife replied that he's crazy, he's mad. And again the neighbor said that he might be mad, he might be crazy, but we are getting the house for half of its value. Means the neighbor had offered actually the half price of the house. Okay, very less price. As I told you, he have offered very less price for the house. So the neighbor said that we are getting the house only half of its value. So what is the problem if he only wants to keep a small nail in our house? The wife finally relented. The contract was signed and Mullah Nasruddin moved out. A month went by. One evening they heard a knock in the door. It was Nasruddin with headboard. Okay. Then the wife agreed and the contract was signed, and Mullah Nasruddin moved out of the house and the neighbors started living in the house. After a month, one evening, after a month went away, went by the neighbor. The neighbor and his wife were now staying at Mullah Nasruddin's house. Okay, they heard a knock at the door. It was Nasruddin standing on the door with his head bowed. "Oh Mullah, where have you been? We were wondering about you," lied the crooked man. Okay, looking at Mullah, the neighbor said that, "Oh Mullah, where have you been? We were thinking about you." He was not actually thinking about him, he just lied to Mullah. Nasruddin explained that he had come to worship his nail, and the man agreed to let him into the house. Nasruddin then explained to the neighbor that actually he had come to worship the nail, and then the neighbor allowed him to enter the house. The mullah humbly walked behind the man, bowed in front of the nail, and put his turban on it. Okay, the mullah went behind the man. When the neighbor allowed him to enter the house, the mullah went behind the man. He bowed in front of the nail and he put his turban on it. As he was about to leave, the man questioned, "Hey, hey, what is that doing there?" Okay. Then when Mullah kept his turban over there, and when Mullah was about to leave, the neighbor asked him that, "Hey, what is that doing there?" "That's my turban." "Yes, but you can't leave it in my house." Then the mullah said, "That is my turban." To this, the neighbor replied that, "Yes, that's your turban, but you can't leave it in my house." "Of course I can," said the mullah as he headed towards the door. "It is on my nail." To this, the mullah replied that, "Of course I can do anything," as the mullah was moving towards the door, "because it is hanging on my nail and I can do anything with my nail." You all remember about the clause in the contract that he is having the ownership of the nail and he can do anything with the nail. So he took that turban and took out his turban and hung it on the nail. 2 weeks passed before Mullah Nasruddin's next visit. Now, after 2 weeks, Mullah Nasruddin visited again. So, I hope you all are able to understand the first part of the chapter. In the next class, we are going to study the next part of the chapter. Thank you.